Welcome to another Marty's Minute Meditations. I'm Marty, and this is our space, men. This is our space to find our worth, our value, to hear, hey, you're doing okay, buddy. We don't really get that a lot, do we, men? We don't really get somebody who kind of pushes us along, says, hey, you're doing okay, buddy. Keep on going. Society doesn't really do that for men these days. Instead, we're toxic. We're awful. We shouldn't be succeeding. We shouldn't be striving for something greater because we're men and we're inherently toxic, which means anything we do is inherently toxic. So we shouldn't do anything. But Marty is here to tell you, don't worry. Keep going, buddy. Marty believes in you. Marty has faith in you. Marty loves you and wants you to keep going. So welcome. Finding worth and value as a man these days is really difficult. Now, before Marty gets into this episode, Marty wants to remind you to like and subscribe to Marty's channel. Help Marty fight this pesky algorithm that tries to keep the word of Marty down and therefore the word of men down. So do your part as a martyr for manhood and like and subscribe. Also, if you like Marty's content and you want to see more of it, you want to support Marty, become a monthly donor on Patreon. $3 a month, that's all Marty asks. If you don't like a monthly commitment, that's okay. Marty understands. Marty has commitment issues, okay? Marty's brave and courageous enough to admit it, but that's why Marty has a PayPal account and a Buy Me a Coffee account. So you can make a one-time donation. All those links will be in the description. You could also visit Marty's TikTok account, his Instagram account. Now, let's discuss how men don't give themselves the worth and value that they deserve by not having standards for their dating world. Women are always allowed to have standards, right? A man must be over 6'3", right? Which most men aren't. Or they have to make six figures, which most men don't. Or they have to be a high value man, which most men aren't. And that's pretty absurd, okay? Marty wants to acknowledge that that's absurd, but those are your standards, right? And before you go, well, Marty, maybe you're just sensitive because you're not those things. Well, think again. Marty understands a woman is entitled to her standards, even if Marty can't meet them. But Marty meets those standards in other ways. He may not have a six-figure income, but he has a six-figure soul, okay? He has worth and value in his soul. He may not be 6'3", but his energy and power is over 6 feet. Maybe when you meet Marty, you'll go, wow, he's really tall. But he's not. Marty's not that tall, but he gives that kind of energy. He gives that kind of power because he doesn't need to be that tall to be that tall. Do you know what I mean? And maybe you go, well, he's, not the alpha male, not the high value man. But Marty, in his spirit and his soul and his heart and in his higher self, Marty visits his higher self a lot. And his higher self tells him that he is high value in the spiritual world. And that's more important than being high value in this material world. Ladies always want things from the material world. They want things, and Marty isn't interested in things. Marty is interested in the spirit. Okay, Marty's going to stop because he promised himself he wouldn't go on a rant about the ladies, right? This is for you men out there. Men, we don't get anywhere by complaining about the ladies. We get somewhere by investing in ourselves and discovering our self-worth, even if the ladies stop you from discovering your self-worth because they keep putting these standards on you that you can't achieve. Right? That's all Marty's going to say. So men, maybe we need some standards like the ladies do. Maybe we shouldn't just bow down to any lady that gives us the eyes. Marty's talked about the glance before. And if you men want some tips for dating, Marty's got 6 tips and tricks for cold approaching women. Marty's going to put that video somewhere. Right there. Right there. That's a little tab that shows you where you can find that video for Marty's 6 tips and tricks for cold approaching women. So, men, maybe we need some standards, right? Because dating and relationships are a journey. And if you don't have your own standards in playing this journey, right, and playing the music of your soul, you and this other person are engaging in this musical journey, almost like a jazz, like a little improvisation, like bebop-a-doo. My name's Marty. How are you doing? Marty's not very good at playing instruments or playing music, but Marty also believes that we have an innate sense of musicality within us all. It's like when a man has standards, right? When we have standards, it's our jazz standards. Maybe you've heard that before. Those jazz standards, those tunes that transcend time and space in the jazz world. Okay, everybody knows them. Everybody knows these jazz standards. That's why they're jazz standards. Everybody knows them. Like, there's that one that the one that happens It happens in the fall, right? There's a jazz standard that happens to do with the fall, okay? We all know those jazz standards that transcend time and space, okay? They hit our hearts. We don't even need to know the title. We hear them, and we are transported to a new place, to the familiar, right? We know that song. It's a universal thing. You may not know the title, but some of them are like boo-doo-doo, boop-doo-doo, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. No, wait, that's not a jazz standard. That's just a song Marty made up. But that just proves that our hearts can improvise and play music. So men, what are your jazz standards? Marty has his jazz standards, that's for sure. And Marty has some pretty reasonable standards, okay? A lot of those ladies out there, they don't have very reasonable standards. How many men are over 6'3"? How many men make over six figures? How many men are quote unquote high value men, whatever that may mean? So what are some of Marty's jazz standards? Well, his top jazz standard is you gotta be a goddess. Rebop-a-doo for you gotta be a goddess. So if a woman approaches Marty or gives him the glance, right, and she's not a goddess, no thanks. Marty makes it very clear. Or he won't even pay attention to them, right? They'll glance and he'll just stare at the wall. Okay, please don't look at me. Please don't even glance at me. I'm made very uncomfortable by your glance. Marty does not want to put in the emotional and social labor to engage with you. Marty's not going to waste time with you because Marty's time is valuable. He could better spend that time working on his MENitations, helping the men out in the world. So why should Marty waste his time with somebody who's not a goddess? That's number one. Marty doesn't sense that you're a goddess. Not interested. Now, Marty also has standards about height, right? And these are Marty's jazz standards. Marty is looking for a woman who is 5'5". Yes, exactly 5'5". Because Marty doesn't want a woman who is as tall or taller than Marty, right? Because then he feels emasculated. And Marty has every right to feel that way. So this is Marty speaking his truth. He has every right to want a woman who's 5'5". Exactly. And that means she could wear heels. Marty finds heels very attractive on women as long as she wants to wear those heels. Marty would never force a woman to wear heels, okay? But he wants her to be 5'5" so she could wear heels and not be too tall, but also she's not too short. So Marty doesn't feel like he's dating a child. Not that women who are under 5'5" are children, but it's just a sensibility that Marty has, especially us men. We have to be careful because, we don't want to be walking in public and have, a short woman with us and for people to think that we're some, P word. Marty can't say that on the YouTubes. So Marty doesn't want somebody who's too short because then people will look at Marty and go, ugh, he likes little kids. And Marty doesn't like little kids. Marty wants to establish that he does not like children. So you have to be 5'5". You have to be that perfect height. Bebop-a-doo jive. You got to be a 5'5". Okay, that's Marty's number 2 jazz standard. So think about what kind of jazz standards you have. Maybe you're at the bar or the coffee shop, right? And you see a lady in a short skirt. Maybe she's looking at you with those eyes. And at any other time, you go, oh my gosh, this beautiful woman is giving me a glance. But you have to check in with yourself. Step back. Actually ask yourself, is this something I want? Bebop-a-doo whoa. I don't want somebody who dresses like a hoe. Oh, just because we dress this way, we're hoes. Well, Marty has to acknowledge that maybe you judge men based on how they dress as well. Maybe your jazz standard is bebop-a-doo mum. I don't like somebody who dresses like a bum. That's because you have worth and value for yourself. And maybe us men have to see it that way too. Maybe we don't want somebody who dresses like that. Maybe it's indicative of a behavior that we aren't attracted to. And Marty knows that could be offensive to some of you, okay? But Marty really wants a woman who doesn't find it necessary to go out there and find her worth through her sexuality. That's where Marty was once. Yep, that's right. Marty's going to admit it. Marty's going to open up a little bit and be honest, right? Because what's expected from men these days in this society is that they have to have sex. They have to be intimate with a lot of women out there. And Marty wants to be honest. It doesn't really help your soul or your spirit. Men find their value and their worth by their ability to pick up chicks, as they say. But Marty wants to warn you men out there, especially you young men. It doesn't really do much for you, okay? This Marty that you see right now isn't the Marty of the past. The Marty of the past would bow down to any woman that gave him a glance. Sometimes as a man, you think your only value and your worth is as a sexual beast, right? And so every night you go out and you find that opportunity to meet a lady who will just give you her body. And then you two, your bodies will meet and you can engage in this intimate act like two wild animals, right? And it seems fun at first. It seems fun at first. It seems like a good time at first, but then after all is said and done, you roll over and you go, oh my gosh, I feel empty inside. Sometimes you don't even know who you are anymore because you feel like you've left so many pieces of yourself, a part of your soul and your spirit in so many bedrooms, right? Their sheets are black, so you just see, the dust and whatever bits of dirt and strange pieces of their skin or whatever that's left on their bed. And you go, oh my gosh, this is a disgusting bed. Why am I doing this? And then when you leave, you've left pieces of your skin and your being on that bed. And you're never going to get them back, okay? You're never going to get them back. Men, you're never going to get them back. So just know that you'll never get those pieces of yourself and who you are back. And you thought that you gained worth and value by being intimate with another woman. Wow, I got another notch on my belt. But you leave in the middle of the night because she wants you to leave, and you want to leave because you're ashamed of yourself. And she's ashamed of herself too, and you sense that. And you get in that, taxi to go home because you don't know how you got so far from your apartment, and you're riding home and you slip into bed and you make sure to shower beforehand because you feel dirty. Because even though you left a part of yourself, you picked up a part of them that you don't really want. That smell, that essence of that person. And then you roll into bed and you go, wow, I did it again, right? I tried to find my worth and value as a man, and anyway, Marty went off the rails there for a second. This isn't Marty's therapy session. This is for you men out there. So for you young men, have standards. Don't just take any woman home or go home with them, right? Have standards. Have some worth and some value for your body and your spirit. And, men don't take the opportunity to say, you know what, I don't want to engage in this sexual intimacy. I'll happily lie with you. I'll happily have a conversation with you because I want to find out if you're a goddess, all right? Marty has his jazz standards, and he wants to lay down with a woman and improvise a little bit. Bebop-doo, are you a goddess? Skibbity-bop-bop-bop, what are your passions in life? Ski-bop-a-rap-a-dappa, are you someone I want to take home to my papa? Papa is Marty's term for his grandfather, who's passed away, so, he can't really take a lady home to his papa, but spiritually, in a spiritual sense, can Marty take this lady to his papa? Would Marty's papa be proud? So what do you want in a partner, in a lady? Bebop-a-rap-a-doo, are you somebody that Marty wants to take to the zoo? Marty actually doesn't like the zoo. Marty just wanted to rhyme that particular bebop and scat with a line, and it's hard to rhyme. Marty's not a rap artist, okay? Marty's not a musician. Marty's not a singer. Marty's not, doesn't do scat very often, okay? So he doesn't really have that skill, but Marty wanted to emphasize this to rhyme. But Marty doesn't like zoos. Marty doesn't like encaging animals, okay? They should be free, just like us humans should be free, right? And the government wants to capture us humans into our cages, right? Into our cubicles, into our homes. Marty apologizes. Marty likes to go off the rails sometimes with his quote-unquote conspiracy theories, as that's what they like to call them. Marty needs to hold back because the YouTube doesn't like conspiracy theories too much. So Marty has to step back and take a moment and breathe and just let himself... Anyway, so men, really sit down and ask yourself, what do you want in a partner? Sometimes Marty just wants someone to sit next to, right? To feel their energy and for them to reach out, grab his hand, look in his eyes, and make Marty feel like he's worth something. I guess that's the best jazz standard that any of us could have, the self-worth swing. Right, Marty's not going to try to sing it because Marty has proven that he's not very good at the rhymes or the melodies, but you make your own self-worth swing. Each one of us is looking for that perfect person out there to fulfill that self-worth swing. And men, remember, you can have standards too. Thank you for joining Marty for this MENitation today. Marty hopes that he helped you find some standards in life. If you enjoyed this MENitation, don't forget to like and subscribe. Become a monthly donor on Patreon, or if you want to make a one-time donation, donate on Marty's PayPal account or buy me a coffee account. And until next time, I'll be here, waiting, ready to meditate.